Welcome to another live with your host, the Shoebox Poet, and we will start reading from my book, Cosmic Beauty. You can find this over on Amazon. This is a author copy, or not author copy. This is basically a oh, I forget what they call it, but it's basically you get this if you want to check out your book to see if um, things are the way you wanted it. So when it comes in, you can just basically thumb through it, look, and see what kind of changes you need to go back in and make to your book. And I usually get these from time to time to make sure that things are uh, correct in here. And a lot of times you do miss things. So basically going through and seeing it in print makes it a lot easier because after a while when you start looking at things between the screen and this right here, it all starts to run together, so you really don't see anything. That's why a lot of times I like doing these readings for you, um, to be able to see see the mistakes that I need to go back and fix. When I go in, I need to go and add the QR code into the book. That way you can, when you buy the book and you want to go get more, you can just do a snapshot on your phone to be able to take you straight to my author page, so you have access to all my books that I have. So let's start. We are. This one's called Slapping Concrete, and this was inspired by a uh, a comedic thought process I had about a fantasy football league that I run as a manager. And you have some people that finish the season dead last, or they lose the championship. And in certain situations, there will be like, um, for lack of a better thing, hazing or some kind of thing where you pick on the person whose team finished either dead last or lost in the championship. And I was thinking about this. As again, it's called slapping concrete. Stricken with a purpose, trying to elude cops, and a Baby mama drama. Feet slapping concrete like the sound of a spanking booty. Balls out and dangling for the world to see. Thank God it's dead of winter. And things are hanging tight. There's more shaking as I run the marathon between the bushes and across the lawns and places and feeling the breeze in places only my fan knows behind closed doors. During the heat of summer, soon I'll be picking thorns out of a place, leaves out of spaces, and wondering if it was worth it. Making the local news with a jog in my birthday suit downtown, down Broadway to 2nd Avenue. Some women screamed and pointed while others just laughed. One woman tried to place a 20 between my butt creaks as I ran for glory, avoiding the pokey. So basically, that's the image that you get when after because there were some people that talked about the things that they had, the people who lost their league had them to do. And if you really want to find out some good stories about that, look for Matthew Berry. He has several books about fantasy football and the different things that happen within those, uh, through league stories from other managers. This one's called Within the Fire. Igniting your soul and watching a goddess burn within the fire. Let me pour some gasoline upon the embers of your soul, fanning the flames, trying to make them climb higher. Come on, burn brighter, hotter like the sun, rising high, blaze and rise, burn yourself and feel the light run through your veins, shining for all to see, and marvel at the beauty born of fire. I can feel the heat of your flames as they build from within you, rising harder and melting everything just a touch of your hand. Come on, burn me. Burn away this mortal coil of a broken man as we make love beneath the rising flames. I want to see you rise above it all and reach the pinnacle of every dream you desire. Rise and light my way so I can find you even in the darkest days of my life without you. And I was trying to, with this one, I was trying to add in as many references to fire or light as I could. And it was just, just an inspirational poem, just be doing something like that. This next one's called Who Gave Life Meaning. Love can break your heart and shatter your mind. The world doesn't matter when the one you loved, the one who gave life meaning, just walked away. Then you wonder, was she worth the pain, worth the moments of torture trying to hold on to her? And you go insane to the point your mind breaks and all the memories are wiped away from the slate. And it's basically talking about how, you know, you love somebody and then they break your heart and you gotta try and figure out how to move on from that. And so it doesn't matter, whether it's a crush or it's an actual love or whatever. There's just, things happen and when you two people can't work it out. This next one's called A Jumbled Mess. She came to me like this, drunk and falling over stuff again. Whoa, what kind of alcohol did you consume on your vacation? Her words were a jumbled mess and at times random rants of a muse who spent a week on a bender. Her once long golden locks were shortened and stained brown. She peered at me through bloodshot eyes that defined the blue of her iris. It was looking at a sunset over an ocean. She danced while talking to me, barefooted and nearly naked. Her dress barely clung to her frame and hung loose upon her curves. As she took a few sips from the water bottle I had given her, I was lost for words, seated before a goddess who told me about her ventures with her 8 sisters. It was their yearly retreat where they sang, shared stories about creatives who worshiped them in song and poetry and paintings. They danced and drank, she said with a smile as she pointed to herself. This is the results of trying to outdrink Greeks. Before falling into my lap and straddling me, I felt her kisses gently kissing my neck, rising to my cheek, resting her head against mine. I could smell her scent, lilac, roses, and some scented oils. She pecked me on the lips and opened her eyes, leaning back slightly. She laid her arms upon my shoulders, smiling at me. She kissed me again. Deeper, longer. She stood up and moved her arms a certain way. Her dress fell away from her silhouette, revealing her body to me. She was every bit imperfect. Dimples, freckles, and curves. I wrote to meet her waiting lips as we kissed, and my hands rolled along her curves, and I realized how much I craved the taste of her and the feel of her, and how much I had longed to hold her one more time. I craved to breathe her in when we made love. And this right here is about a muse, and I'm just trying to walk through the vivid points of a visual and thinking about the person that inspires your very thoughts and dreams in this poem. And that's what I was trying to give life to with her. I probably need to change a few things if it was an option. I probably could go back and change some things, but it's just remembering those things. This next one's called When You Feel Lost. Accepting yourself even when you have nothing else but the person looking back in the mirror can be a challenge when you feel lost. There are steps to accept yourself. Sometimes they are footprints. Left in the sand as the tide comes in, washing away your progress, wiping away your triumphs, and leaving the traces of tragedies in the wake of receding waters. So you become addicted to the loneliness and dwell in the sadness of lost memories. This is why you have to climb the steps in accepting who you are as a person, from body, mind, and soul. Accept the imperfections of you and love the person you have hidden deep inside of you. And this poem is basically about loving yourself, after somebody is gone. And it's whether somebody died tragically or, died, or a relationship died, and the different situations, that happen from that. And the things that you accomplish really disappear because, you're focusing on that tragedy of the situation that happened rather than the things you've accomplished and you've done to find strength within yourself to get beyond that. So, and I mean, I kind of wonder about things myself when it comes to love. Do I put myself on a shelf because of the situations that happened in the past, or because I mean the last situation I had was wanting to be to kindle a relationship with someone. Um, they kind of freaked out because they had been hurt by a different situation, so they were putting me at a distance. So there really isn't much I can really do about the situation. This next one is called "I Was Fine." There was a point where I felt drawn to you, like a moth to a flame, and I was fine with it. I was fine being addicted to you, wanting to drink from your lips as we kissed. Things changed, and they fell apart. And it all fell apart. Crumbling castles, and I dream of you and I, where we overcome the things that bound us in this strange entangled mess of strings of love or lust. There were so many times where I knew you, where I saw you, and I danced. Sorry, there were so many times where I saw you, and I was dancing in your amber eyes. Lace fingers, diamond rings, and kids, two hearts beating as one. Only those dreams fell apart when I couldn't afford it. The cost of bearing you when your life was a lie. Because it's all I ever known, I guess. How do you go from this woman who embraced religion and things to a person you are today? When and why did you cross that line? Not judging you, everybody falls or does things to survive because that was their only choice. I find myself being lost in the moment of holding you, naked beneath the covers. But for the moment we shared never worked out the way I would dream or imagine them to be. Lost thoughts of connection to someone who I felt so close to, only it was all a scam. Did you really care about me, or was I just another sucker who you added to your Rolodex of fools? I guess I would never know. And that was about a situationship, and I really don't want to talk much about it because I really don't want to bring that person back into my life. Those are things like that. You just really want to distance yourself from further and further away. Even though, yes, things happen, you can't, you can't change that. But it's still one of those things. One more poem. They're not eloquent. I write poems. They're not eloquent, possessing long words or words in that express things under a different spelling, you see, are so powerful in the right minds they can tear you down walls when they were built in rage. Words are people. They have meaning, laced with kindness and pain, because pain is pain and sorrow is just that. Just as much as I love, hope, passion, life, all have meaning, and how is expressed without the face of or diction placed upon them when spoken. This is why words have meaning. They have meaning when someone took the time out of their life to place them on a page, real or digital. Those words were printing for you, and you alone read, so you could grasp the understanding of the emotions of those words. When my words are written upon a page, life is precious, time is precious. And out of all these things I possess, it was all I can give. My love, my words, my heart, my soul. So my poetry may not be beautiful to read, but the soul who wrote them is. So we're going to call it right there. And, definitely check out my friend, Sarah Aikenhead and Bill Rolon Miller. And Casting Into the Fire podcast. Check out my friend Jenna Jinx and her Jenna Jinx portraits over on Instagram. Check out my friend Dwight and his Simulated Sports over on YouTube. The links are in the caption for this. Check out my friends my fans who do Reiki, Aria, and Alberta. You know, if you have things in your life that are going on and you really want to find a way to help transition to a better situation, help things, they will help you with that because um, things go a lot deeper when body, mind, and soul. They do. You know, thank you for your time. I will see you here next Sunday. Have a good day.